How incredibly peaceful and beautiful is this? On the water, surrounded by the Australian native bush. We're at Castlecrag, only 10 kilometres from the centre of Sydney. And for generations, they've fought to preserve it the way it is. And if a young architect is given a commission here, they really have to rise to the challenge. This is a sandcastle brought together by an extraordinary set of circumstances, and it's a story that will live on as long as this house stands.
And last week, the judges for Australia's most prestigious architectural prize, the Robin Boyd, named this house the best in the country for 2011.
There were parts of Grandfather's house that we kept.
We talked about, when he was still alive, that we wanted to buy the house and renovate it and live here as well.
How would we capture this essence of the site? Because that's what Joe and Luke engaged us to do.
When I die, it'll be in this house, and that my ashes equally will be sprinkled on this block.
Luke.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Good to see you. So what do you think Grandad would make about all this?
Oh, I'd be incredibly proud. He would love to have met you and Nick. It's a beautiful spot, but you've made it even more beautiful. It's very reminiscent of his house and of their lives.
Hello, you two.
Hi,
Luke,
Pete. How are you?
Good to see you. Rach.
Hey, hi.
Great to see you again. Reminiscing, I'm sure, about this incredible house.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to show me around?
I'd love to.
Let's go.
Pete, let's start in the kitchen.
Great idea. I tell you, when I walked in that front door, there was an immediate sense of refuge in here. It's a wonderful warm space, Rach.
Yeah, well, interestingly enough, Grandfather's house, you entered straight into the dining room and the kitchen was right there. So that level of intimacy was something that we wanted to retain in this house, and I think actually it's quite unusual.
There are so many beautiful things in this kitchen, including this bench. Now tell us about this timber. This is beautiful.
Yes, the timber in the original house, the flooring and the windows was coach wood, which is not possible to get now.
Yeah.
And we matched recycled tallow wood as being a pretty good kind of colour match.
So is it usually this tidy? I should ask Luke that.
It's often this tidy, actually. It's often this tidy.
Well, it has to, because
yeah.
I mean, your guests arrive basically into this living
into
space.
the heart, into the potentially the messiest room in the house.
You mentioned Walter Burley Griffin. There's a great motif in that entrance,
there is.
which is very fascinating.
These are precast panels from a Burley Griffin building that were buried in the garden, given to Joe and Luke by one of their neighbours. So
Wow.
it is a bit of Griffin. And the wall that it's set into, the stone actually came from the carport wall in Grandfather's house.
What I love too is how the sandstone floor runs off the cliff, across out through the portico, all the way through the floor, connecting this whole space to the landscape.
Yes, and with the concrete ceiling and beam, it's like a warm, cosy cave. This is an interesting space because it has the fireplace that's original from the existing house and the joinery that goes with it, and it's been retained in situ. So this part of the wall is actually kept from the old house.
We had to actually build a scaffold to hold that wall up, and that was a bit hairy. We had a fireplace stuck in, 6 metres up in the air.
And then we have these fantastic thick, heavy curtains.
I can see these curtains here. They're very theatrical, aren't they?
They're theatrical, they're spatial, and they're thermal. So when you pull the curtains around, you change the acoustic quality of the space, you enable the space to be smaller so the fireplace can actually make you feel warm, and you get a dark space. And behind this door here is actually the family TV. So
hidden away.
yeah, so dark space is good for watching movies.
So from the very intimate fireplace to the living room, where the scale of the room automatically opens up.
Yes, it's a grand room, but it's not a room that you feel uncomfortable in. It's not so big that you feel lost in it. I think the most important thing about this room is to really capture the steepness of the site, and with the doors that disappear on the outside of the walls, you really get a sense of being on a platform hovering over this beautiful inlet.
That was an amazing feat of design ingenuity,
Yeah,
the way these
steel
doors
ears,
work.
The steel ears, yes, there are two
steel ears.
Which cantilever out on the outside of the building that enable this sort of magic, I guess, to happen. It makes me feel very warm to be here. It's good to come back here. Yeah, you don't want to forget anything.
Rachel Neeson designed this house with her personal and professional partner, Neeson Murcutt, the son of legendary architect Glenn Murcutt. Nick's career was on a stellar path as he and Rachel completed this stunning project. So
quite unexpectedly, Nick was diagnosed with an aggressive cancer about a year ago, and 8.5 months later he died. I mean, we both loved working on this project, you know, so it brings back only good memories, really.
If you're looking to build a sandcastle, go to findanarchitect.com.au to search for the right expert in your area. Coming up on Sandcastles, the inspiration for Rachel and Nick's design, their eureka moment.
How would we capture the essence of the site? Because that's what Joe and Luke engaged us to do.
This property has housed 4 generations of the Hastings family. Luke grew up here in Castlecrag with his grandparents and has rebuilt a masterpiece that blends memories with the modern.
You know, there are not many places in Sydney, let alone the world, like this, so it's very beautiful coming down here. We've got a little fishing boat, you know, we get to bring the kids down, bring lunch down, I sleep overnight with the kids down here. It's just beautiful. It's a very magical part of the world.
Rachel knew this project was special. The link becoming deeper when she lost her partner and collaborator Nick to cancer.
When something traumatic, you know, like your 24/7 partner dies, it's very hard to think clearly. So, and to remember clearly about, you know, which bits he designed and which bits I designed, when in truth it was a total collaboration.
So, how do you get to this carefully composed home, balanced and beautiful?
When we first met Joe and Luke, they actually suggested Nick and I come and stay here.
For every architect involved in top-level design, the process can be torturous. Sleepless nights searching for the answers.
How would we capture the essence of the site? Because that's what Joe and Luke engaged us to do.
But then, often in an instant, the design can unlock, become clear. This is what I call the eureka moment.
It just might look like a bunch of scribbles to you, but to us, internally there's a twist, there's a pinwheel. And so we came up with the idea of a room to the view, a room to the rock, and a room to the bush.
Leaving the main entrance floor up to the
parents'
retreat
world.
It's all steel?
All steel, yeah. So we've got articulated walls, a little moment here which I like to think of as Joe's Diamante. So it's a reflection of the bush, a view of the bush.
And Joe can sit here and, you know, get dressed and do a makeup, and brings the outside of the house inside and her outside.
How does this bath work in terms of waterproofing this timber floor?
We've got a drain that runs through at this threshold.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't want to have a drain here.
And have a look at that. You've cut the boards and they're absolutely perfectly surgically lined up.
Yeah, this was another challenge for the builders. This is one of my favourite rooms in the house, and they came up with this amazing idea of basically positioning the shower quite separately, looking out at this unbelievable view. So I get up every morning and have a shower and just appreciate that I live in this place.
You are permanently on holidays, aren't you, in this house?
No, exactly. That is how it feels. So that's
Let's
very
have a
special.
quick look. That's all curved, isn't it?
Yeah, so this sort of internal feel of curvature through each of the levels.
Where to next?
Through to the bedroom and then into the study.
Okay. Stunning. That is unbelievable. Really impressive.
Nick had a vision that this would be like the inside of a boat.
Right.
That the timber would be painted, that you'd see the lines of a beautiful timber boat, you know, which was part of his conception up here, and I think he's achieved that beautifully. So these amazing curved walls continue now in timber rather than in the tiles like the shower.
This is sort of offset from that wall. Add the curves and all of a sudden you've got this wonderful, calming, beautiful curved space.
Yeah, and every room is different. So you come into each room and you get a different sense. The height in this room is a lot lower than we were back in Joe's bath area and dressing area.
That's right. The spaces become compressed, then they open up again.
Exactly.
Playing with curves and offset right angles.
Yeah.
It's very clever, isn't it? Very well balanced.
And as you say, it gives you an amazing calming feeling.
And the use of timber is consistent. I mean, this is the tallow wood again in it.
It is.
And it's that narrow tallow wood, which is what Grandma and Grandpa had in their old house. It's an old profile, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this is recycled tallow wood. Now, if you want to get new tallow wood, you can use Australian hardwoods. Boral do a really good product with this new tallow wood sort of stuff to achieve the same effect. So, from the master bedroom with this beautiful palette of materials, where does the pinwheel drive us next?
Into my study.
Okay.
So in here, we've got this beautiful desk that Nick and Rachel designed and my aunt and uncle and Dominic built. Fantastic place to come home and work. And I get to sit here and basically look out at the view, you know, that's in front of us. It's magnificent.
Sandcastles would like to offer you the chance to win something special.
This is one of the most stunning spots in Australia, Hamilton Island. How would you like a holiday here? Just go to the website and vote for your favourite sandcastle, SandcastlesTV.com.
After the break, Sandcastles brings you a fish tank with a view. Sandcastles, proudly sponsored by Boral. Build something great. When you see the unique design and architectural features in this house, you can understand why the Robin Boyd judges named this the best home in Australia.
Now this leads us down to the children's area, but this fish tank is remnant too of the old house, isn't it?
Yes, well actually Luke kept the original fish tank that was at the bottom of the stairs that went up to the bedrooms at the old house.
It's such a beautiful connection again, taking Luke back to his grandfather's old house.
It is, yeah. It is.
Wonderful. And a lot of fun too for the kids when they head off to bed every night.
That's right.
There's 4 kids. I think they range in age from 10, 8, 4 and 3 or...
Something like that.
And this is their area?
Yes. Shall I just take you into the girls' bathroom?
Let's go.
We have the original retaining wall from the flat that was under Grandfather's house, which is where Luke lived from the age of 17 or 18 and where Joe lived too from the age of about 23.
Another little level change?
Yes, Pete, this is the girls' bedroom. We've got 2 rooms that are slightly connected, and if the girls in time want to have their own room, completely their own room, you add the missing piece of joinery and shunt this along. You've got 2 smaller bedrooms.
Yeah, that's clever, isn't it?
They're compact spaces, but you've got social spaces either side. The kids' playroom on one side and a shared veranda on the other side.
The 2 boys' layout is exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
I'd imagine everyone's bedroom is precisely the same length
Precisely
and
the
width.
same, precisely the same. Yes, exactly the same. The boys' bathroom is also pretty much subterranean, and we've chosen a mix of tiles. It's quite wild.
Look, the green and the yellow.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy. It picks up from the recycled brick colours that we just happened to get. So
I love that.
Yeah.
The window, the big scoopy window.
yeah, trying to scoop as much light as possible into the space.
Well, the kids are completely separated by a floor from mum and dad, aren't they?
Yes, and I think the 3-year-old still travels up every now and again in the middle of the night.
Let me just have a little peek at this view. The shape of this pool is really wonderful.
The pool picks up exactly on the line of contours, so it twists to that same angle that the pinwheel upstairs twists.
It echoes almost that desk.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's
wonderful little curve.
unconscious.
Unconscious.
Yeah, that's unconscious.
Digging in there, and
You
there's all
are,
those things coming out. No, I really think there's that beautiful, gentle curve.
And we worked very hard to find a tile that would give us the colour of the bay.
What tile is that?
It's a granite.
Right.
It's a rough granite, it's rough sawn, so it's unusual to have a rough tile.
The architect's palette, their choice of materials, is critical in any design. Nick and Rachel made great use of recycled materials: timber, sandstone and bricks. When materials couldn't be salvaged, they used new sandstone, and concrete was used in an extraordinary way.
To see concrete used in this form, it's used in a number of different applications, it's really exciting.
Now, in terms of contemporary Australian architecture, concrete, for some reason, is becoming more of a common theme.
I think concrete is becoming one of the new building products. It's not just being used for the standard ground slab foundation type of use. It's people are seeing the benefits, one from a thermal or a heating perspective, but they're also seeing the architectural designs that they can achieve and the different decorative aspects of concrete. I think we've come a long way in terms of technology and how we design concrete. There's lots of different aspects to concrete and how we improve it, and I think that from here we're only going to get better. The applications that we can use concrete in, the list is endless, and it's a very exciting future for concrete and the concrete industry.
Finding the right architect is key to a successful outcome in any project, and if you're looking to build your own sandcastle, go to findanarchitect.com.au. There you can check out profiles and projects of A+ architects. Find them there, they'll build you something special.
Next, the last surprise of this award-winning home. Sandcastles, celebrating great Australian architecture. Proudly sponsored by Boral. Build something great. For all of its mastery, this is a home, one to be lived in and loved. And it's been designed with the family in mind, right down to the placement of 4 homework drawers in the kitchen, keeping the family together from after school through to mealtime.
Every day I end my day in the studio, and every weekend the girls and I wake up and we start our weekend in the studio. It's just a pleasure to be in that space.
So what makes this a unique sandcastle? The steel is, only a brave client would take this sort of risk, a magnificent solution. Luke's desk. This one piece is summary of the entire gentle twisting nature of the plan.
The level of craftsmanship in this desk, I haven't seen many like it. It is beautiful.
The scoop sill window in the boys' bathroom, shedding light on an underground room. The kids' homework drawers built into the kitchen bench. And the clever integration of old and new. As Nick said, it was like working with a ruin.
You know, from an architectural perspective, the most powerful thing about this house is, apart from the family enjoying every corner of it, but from an architectural perspective, it proves that in the hands of passionate, committed professionals, architecture can have not 3, but 4 dimensions, that of time. Everywhere Luke looks, he's transported back to his childhood, whether it be sitting around that fireplace, memories of his grandparents, the reconstituted timber, the very bricks that his grandfather used to build the original house have been remodelled into this new home. Architecture can be like a scent or an old song. It can transport you back. I mean, for Luke, it takes him back to the memory of his grandfather. For Rachel, well, it's the memory of Nick and the times they shared here designing this house. But for both of them, those memories will live on as long as this house stands.
Next week, a journey to the rugged south coast of New South Wales and a house that is perfectly designed for the landscape.
It was very important that the building capture the nature of the site.
Sandcastles gratefully acknowledges the ongoing support of the Australian Institute of Architects and Boral. Build something great.
Certainly from my perspective, I'm just eternally indebted to Nick and Rachel.
Nick and Rachel's creativity and passion and skill are all embedded in the walls of this home, and I feel very grateful that that's the case.
Well, it's an award winner and it deserves every accolade it's received, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Really has been for you showing me around.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Thanks.